star of the night. Them so impressed.
Giants, folks, here we go. Logan Webb with a masterful pitching performance here tonight.
The star of the night. I'm so impressed with him.
The biggest stage brings out their best.
Flips it. Throw it first in time. A spectacular double play.
Dodgers, Giants, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this.
Next chapter begins right now. Picture perfect Saturday night, Oracle Park in San Francisco, and a sellout crowd doing their thing once again. They saw their Giants shut out the Dodgers last night in Game 1, and now we are ready for Game 2. It's the 2021 National League Division Series on TBS, and it's presented by Good Sam. The reigning world champion Dodgers down 0-1 in this series, taking on the team with the best record in the big leagues this year, the San Francisco Giants. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Anderson, along with Ron Darling. We'll hear from Lauren Shahadi in just a moment. Well, the Dodgers now find themselves down 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. And, Ronnie, if you're the San Francisco Giants, you've held off the Dodgers all year long. Gabe Kapler could not have scripted that game any better than what happened last night.
You know, Brian, it was just a perfect start from Logan Webb. Giants do not lose games here at Oracle Park when he starts, but it's been the home run ball all season long that has been the difference maker for the Giants. They did it with their veterans. Buster Posey with a 2-run shot in the first got him going. They acquired a veteran world champion at the trading deadline. He hit a solo. And then Brandon Crawford, who's having an MVP-type season this year with the late home run as well.
Well, the Giants led the National League in home runs this season. That home run ball produced all of their runs last night and got a great pitching performance out of Logan Webb. Now they turn the ball over to Kevin Gausman, who has been as good all year. Gausman was an all-star this season. He's 30 years of age. Tonight, he's making his very first start in the postseason. On the other side, getting ready for the Dodgers is Julio Urias. And Ronnie, at age 25, a serious postseason pedigree.
I mean, 25 years old. This will be his 19th appearance and 4th start. You see what he did down the stretch this year to get to 20 wins. He was as good as any starter in that rotation for the Dodgers. But if you look at last season, the karma about him being on the mound tonight, last year he was a big difference maker in them winning a world championship. 6 games, 2 starts. He was almost perfect. When you saw him in the postseason with that curveball, fastball, and change, he had 5 1/3 hitless innings to close out the NLCS and to close out the World Series.
Well, the burden of adjustment belongs to the team that loses in the first game of this series. That burden lies on Dave Roberts here tonight, Lauren Shahadi, and he's not talking about pitching. He's looking at his offense for this one here this evening.
That's right. He told me, do what you're good at, and what we're good at is not chasing best in baseball. But last night, the changeup and the slider, we just couldn't lay off. He said, look around you. Almost every single player on this team has been an all-star at one point in time. You don't have to try to do too much. You don't see the pitch you like, lay off it. Let the next guy hit it. By the way, Chris Taylor in center field tonight. I asked Dave Roberts why. He said, wants the moment. So the stage is set for Game 2 of the NLDS from beautiful Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Lineups and first pitch next on TBS.
By Roman. When it comes to your health, what you do next matters most. Visit GetRoman.com/TV. And by DraftKings, the best place to get in on the MLB action with daily fantasy, sports betting, and free-to-play pools. All postseason, customers can play in free late inning pools for a swing at over $50,000. Use promo code HEAT to sign up.
Well, a beautiful city in recovery here. San Francisco, downtown setting, and it is a perfect night for the grand old game. 63 degrees. There is some wind up there. It'll be swirling around the ballpark. Check the outfielders tonight. Pop-ups and fly balls could be a challenge. There's Dave Roberts, first time in his big league managerial career. He's lost a Game 1 in an NLDS. Tonight's batting order for Roberts brought to you by Hankook Tire. Mookie Betts leads off, Corey Seager, then Trey Turner. In the middle of Roberts' order is Justin Turner, Will Smith, and Chris Taylor gets his first start. Remember, he hit the memorable walk-off in the wild card game. Cody Bellinger, A.J. Pollock, and Julio Urias will round out the starting 9. And Ronnie, that starting 9 for Dave Roberts matches up against one of the big surprise stories for the Giants the last 2 years, Kevin Gausman.
Well, Kevin Gausman, if you look at his numbers, when he was an All-Star before the All-Star break, his numbers were sublime. But after the All-Star break, he has struggled a bit, although has thrown a little better his last couple starts. You will see a lot of split-finger fastballs from Gausman tonight.
30 years of age. Kevin Gausman trying to back up what his teammate did yesterday, and Logan Webb, who made his first ever postseason start last night and was brilliant last night. Struck out 10. And all the pieces in place. Angel Hernandez will call the balls and strikes tonight. Mookie Betts digs in the right side of that batter's box. And this much anticipated series now moves to chapter 2 here in this best of 5. As Hernandez says play ball, and Gausman deals the first offering, and it is a strike, and away we go in game 2.
Taking the ball out of play like they did last night. Kevin Gausman, who was a #1 pick, first-round pick for the Baltimore Orioles, this last season, or 2021, was his first winning season in the majors.
He has been one of the symbols of a resurrection project that so many Giants players have enjoyed this year, to the tune of a franchise record 107 wins. The Dodgers matched their franchise record of 106 wins. San Francisco held them off all year long as Gausman misses low. That's that split finger fastball that Ronnie's talk about, and you're in good hands tonight. Ron Darling had a great splitter in his career, so there aren't many splitters remaining. There's a pitch that was kind of made famous here in San Francisco with the great Roger Craig as the manager, but there aren't many anymore, Ronnie, and the splitter is a big part of Gausman's repertoire.
You know, it's a pitch that most in baseball, professional ranks anyways, don't like to teach their young developing pitchers.
Buster Posey catching his 13th career shutout in the postseason. That's the most all time, and that one's in the dirt. Posey, an excellent backstop, hit a home run in the first inning last night. Logan Webb told Lauren after the game, it's almost one of his first answers was the calming presence that Buster Posey had in last night's game. 2-2 to Mookie Betts. They'll ask if he went, did not, says the crew chief Ted Barrett. And Betts in a 3-2 count.
You know, listen to Lauren earlier. You really felt like Dave Roberts wanted to give a scolding to his team for going out of the strike zone. And so far, 3 splitters in the dirt taken by Mookie Betts.
Yeah, we had to have a session with Lauren. She thought Dave was scolding her. But you're right. He was a little upset and usually hides that pretty well, but let it fly last night as Gausman walks Mookie Betts to start the game. And the Dodgers right away get a speed man on. Gausman had that great first half, made him an all-star this season. He's pitched in the postseason before as a reliever with the Orioles and then the Atlanta Braves, but this is his very first postseason start. And one of the many pitchers in their 30s that has gotten the most out of their game this year, dialing into what makes them at their best. That's been a big part of the Giants story as Gausman faces Corey Seager. And a check on Betts. Back in time.
You know, there were some eyes rolling around baseball when Gausman was given the qualifying offer. But boy, did he live up to that and some.
Yeah, 1-year deal last year. Cashed it in, bet on himself. Pitched well last season and has taken it to another level this year on another 1-year deal with the Dodgers. I beg your pardon, with the Giants. And the Dodgers' Corey Seager takes a ball low. There was a definitive shift in the Dodgers' approach against Gausman in the regular year. From a start in May to a start in late June. He got a lot of swings and misses at that split finger fastball early in the season. And then the Dodgers just stopped swinging at it. And Gausman hits one for a strike. That's a fastball. That's the spray chart for Seager. And therefore the Giants with 3 infielders on the right side.
Those are the balls on the ground, Brian. Seager has tremendous power to left center.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Leadoff walk to Betts. Had a good cut. And it's 1-2. Doubleheader of National League postseason baseball today on TBS. We saw the Atlanta Braves shut out the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee today to even that series up at a game apiece. Giants shut out the Dodgers last night.
Runs at a minimum in that series.
It feels like the teams that are down. Dodgers have not scored many runs. They scored 3 in the wild card game. 2 of those on the walk-off homer by Taylor. And then, of course, they were blanked last night. Betts has a big lead at first. And the 1-2 is outside and high for a ball. 2-2 the count.
Betts was going there, but a quick pitch or really a slide step by Gausman stopped him from going.
Betts has been on quite a bit here in the postseason. 5 out of 9 plate appearances. And there he goes. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Throw to second. The tag late. It was a high throw from Posey. And Mookie Betts swipes second base. It's a strikeout for Gausman for his first out. But Betts is in there with a steal.
Posey looking to the dugout to see if they might look at that again. But great jump from Mookie. And even better slide. So a stolen base here. Betts had 10 in the regular season, had a number of injuries this year, including a hip injury that set him back, but he looks like he's running well now. And a steal at second base sets up Trey Turner with 1 out. Gausman always works from the stretch, even with nobody on, and he misses down and away. There's a replay on the steal. Good slide here by Mookie, who almost pulled up. I don't know if Longoria, did he try to deke him? No. But he gets in underneath the tag.
It was a little bit of a duck slide right there as he was. A strange finish to that play. Not normally the grace that Mookie Betts plays with. That's a fly ball into right field. Routine out there for Austin Slater, and he puts it away for the out. 2 gone in the inning. And Betts remains at second base.
I mean, there's so many things that Gausman did outstandingly this year, but one of the best was with runners in scoring position. Batting average against 154.
Two outs. Justin Turner coming up. Turner 0 for 4 last night. Homered in the wild card game. Hit 27 during the regular season. He's popped a couple of home runs against Gausman in his career.
'75th game.
Now Turner's hit 13 home runs in the postseason as well in that time, and Justin Turner has the Dodger franchise record for postseason homers.
Got good numbers off Gausman, 6 for 16 with a couple of home runs.
Dodgers threatening here in the first. Betts a runner at second base. Gausman a long pause. And that one's hit hard into left center, but right at Darren Ruff. He's got it for the out. Got it on the barrel, but not enough under it. Gausman survives the first. He strands a runner at second. Now the Giants coming up. And Darren Ruff for the 7th time this year. Batting order brought to you by Hankook Tire. And following Ruff, Chris Bryant elevated to the 2 spot for Gabe Kapler. Austin Slater hits third, his first start. In the middle, it's Buster Posey, Wilmer Flores, and Brandon Crawford. Crawford homered last night. Evan Longoria, Donovan Solano, and Kevin Gausman round out the starting 9. That'll face Julio Urias.
Well, see those numbers in his last 17 starts as he got stronger and stronger as the season went on. Urias this year will come of importance for the Dodgers as a starting pitcher.
The native of Mexico, Culiacan, Julio Urias. And he has had a big game pedigree in his career already. He was in the big leagues at age 19 and already 18 career postseason appearances, including 6 last year. And while he made a name for himself coming out of the bullpen last year, both in the NLCS and in the World Series, he finished both of those series off coming out of the bullpen. He is a frontline starter that will certainly be in the Cy Young Award discussion after a 20-win season this season. As Ruff fights one off foul, 1-2 the count.
You know, this Ruff leading off is kind of a new phenomenon. They didn't really do it until after September 1st. He said this is his 7th time. But against left-handed pitching, 140 plate appearances this season. His OPS is over 1.007.
There are only 2 left-handed bats in the starting lineup. One of those is the pitcher Gausman, right-handed thrower, left-handed hitter, as Ruff fouls that one away. So the mix and match. You're not going to pinch hit for Brandon Crawford. He's the other left-handed bat in there, the only position player that's left-handed. But everybody else, Gabe Kapler used 1 extra from his bench on the position player side. That's very unusual for the Giants. They are platoon heavy. But the way the game played out, he didn't need it. Urias deals. Ruff tied up and a swing and a foul back out of play. And Urias is coming right at big Darren Ruff.
So far, Ruff has been late on each and every fastball from Urias.
There's a power fastball up and in on the knuckles. And doing all he can to get the bat head on it. Did he go? They'll ask. He did not. Ted Barrett, the crew chief on this crew as well. If we're in need of a replay, he'll be the man to administer that.
Well, that was a famous check swing by Ruff against these Dodgers this season.
Yeah, that's right. That swung one of those games. There was a couple of games in there between the Giants and the Dodgers. They met 19 times. That's a called strike 3. Got a little off the edge from Angel Hernandez, and Urias starts his night with a strikeout.
Well, this fastball is off the corner, but he gets the call from Angel Hernandez anyways, and Ruff's down.
That could be a significant development as this game goes on. How much off the plate are the umpires willing to give? So Ruff is out, a backwards K. Here is Chris Bryant. Chris with a forward K, and he had 3 hits last night, and that was a very welcome sight for the Giants and their fans. He had really struggled down the stretch of the regular season, but he found his postseason mojo last night, did Chris Bryant, a former MVP. 3 hits and a homer, and a shattered bat here, and the count is a ball and a strike.
Just the fastball away. But Bryant jumped all over. Each hit was a fastball away, and this one he dumps into the bleachers.
That made it 3-0 at the time. Brandon Crawford hit a home run late to make it 4-0, and that's how the game would end. Posey, Bryant, Crawford. 3 homers responsible for all 4 runs. Posey had the 2-run blast.
Bryant became the first person to homer for both the Cubs and the Giants in a postseason.
Big acquisition. Chris Bryant from Chicago. The Cubs cleared the deck with their famous players. Bryant and Rizzo and Javi Baez, Kimbrel. And Chris Bryant loving his time here in San Francisco. Buehler didn't have his A game last night. He certainly kept the Dodgers in the game. The Dodgers just could not solve the riddle of Logan Webb. And Buehler's had some great postseasons in the past. Came up on the wrong side last night.
Yeah, he battled. Just 2 pitches cost him 3 runs.
2-2 the count.
That's the pitch that Urias has been using more and more often. Previous 5 years now, he threw it about 10, 11%. He's up to 34% now with that pitch. It's made him more effective. It's made all of his pitches more effective.
Will Smith, the battery made for Urias once again. Two talented young players. Bryant breaks another bat. He's going to go through the whole bag here in this first inning. Ouch. That's got to leave a few bees in the hands right here. Look where the contact is. Oh.
I mean, that's right off the label.
Holding nothing but the knob of the bat.
I'm not sure about this stat, but I think 3 broken bats is the record in one at bat.
In one at bat? We got a man on it. 1 out, bottom first. Urias deals. Another 2-2 is fouled off. And between the broken bats and fouling pitches off his feet, Bryant's hanging in there tough, but Urias giving him all he wants right now.
Big breaking ball. Fouled it right off the instep of his left foot.
Pointing to his foot just in case the umpires needed a little bit of help. Make sure that was a foul ball. Do it again. Another 2-2 pitch. And Urias deals a curve. Bryant fouls that one away. These are the kind of at-bats that pitchers cannot stand, especially in the first inning when you cannot put a batter away. Gets that pitch count up. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming here to Chris Bryant. Extremely versatile piece. Bryant tonight gets to start in center field. Can play all 3 outfield spots. You can put him at third or first. And Bryant gets under this one. A high pop-up. Shallow center field, and it is Trey Turner who puts it away for out number 2. Let's send it down to Lauren Shahadi. What do you have, Lauren?
Brian, you can see Julio's left eye partially closed. He has a benign mass that's been removed 4 times. 3 times as a child, the latest in 2015. He wears those glasses to protect the other eye. He said, God gave me a bad left eye, but a good left arm.
That's right, and they are prescription glasses, and he's an incredible talent, and those obvious comparisons of being from Mexico, left-handed in that Dodger uniform with the great Fernando Valenzuela. And he's trying to make a name for himself, and he already has. That ball's hit hard. Slater sends one deep to left field. That's going to one-hop up and out for a ground rule double. Austin Slater thought he hit it all the way out. But a 2-base hit, a ground rule double, and Slater in his first start comes up with a big base hit early on a changeup.
Yeah, he gets a changeup, and he's now 7 for 18 against Urias. He's really hammered left-handed pitching late in the season. His last 25 at-bats, he's got 13 hits against left-handed pitching.
Rare for him to hit in the 3 spot in the batting order. Just the 2nd time this year. But he responds, and he is aboard in scoring position for Buster Posey. Posey a wave and a miss. Urias with that changeup took something off, and Posey was out in front. Had a terrific regular season, an all-star season this year. A .304 hitter, 18 homers, 56 RBIs. Welcomed Twins into the world last year and opted out during the pandemic. The shortened season has come back fresh and looks like his old self. Quickly 0-2. Urias coming right at him.
This is last night on a 3-0 pitch. Deep drive to right field. One of the longest home runs you'll see at this ballpark from a right-handed hitter. One hop into the cove.
A splash down for Buster Posey. That got him on their feet early. That was a first inning 2-run home run off Walker Buehler. Urias has him 0-2. And Posey, he goes. Urias strikes him out to end the inning. Couple of Ks for Urias. Strands a runner at second base. Off and run it in San Francisco. We go to the second. Seen out there in McCovey Cove. Take a look at today's odds, powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. Total combined runs today. Got a lot of questions out there. That's the first one that pops up. Well, go ahead and get involved with us.
What's the over and under for that dog jumping in?
No, that dog's going in for sure. Fake giraffe on the other one. Real dog on the one behind. And the kayaks are rolling in, hoping for a splashdown again tonight, like Buster Posey gave him last night. Here we go to the second inning. Scoreless game. Each pitcher stranding a runner at second base. And Gausman deals strike one to Will Smith. One of the best hitting catchers in all of baseball. Statistically, the #1 offensive catcher in the game this year. He had 25 homers. That led all catchers. He drove in 76 in the regular season.
A couple of hits in last night's game for Will Smith as well.
In an otherwise quiet night for the Dodgers offensively, they had just 5 hits. And a 4-0 Giants win. Webb beating Buehler last night. Giants are pretty mum on their Game 3 starter. Have not been willing to go there just yet. It figures to be Anthony DeSclafani or Alex Wood. Don't know which order is preferred depending on what happens here tonight. In Game 2, the series will be headed to Los Angeles. That's a rocket, and Crawford made the catch in the air. That ball was by him, and Crawford able to snag it. It looked like it popped out of his glove for a moment, but he secures it for the out.
Well, that's one of the hardest line drives you'll ever see hit to an infielder. Ball had a tracer on it. And Crawford, with those good hands, caught it right in the palm. And the reason he was turned behind, because he didn't want anyone to see him screaming in anguish because of the pain. 109.9 miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah, those are the kind, if you get any loft at all, they're headed out of here. Nice play by Crawford. Now Chris Taylor. And his first at bat since his big moment on Wednesday. The moment of the postseason thus far. Taylor with a walk-off 2-run home run. A game winner at Dodger Stadium in the bottom of the 9th inning. That was a 3-1 wild card win for Los Angeles over St. Louis. And the Dodgers took out one of the hottest teams in all of baseball in the Cardinals. And Taylor rifles that one into the gap left center field. Over to cut it off is Bryant. And Taylor rolls into second base with a 1-out double. 2 hard hit balls for the Dodgers off Kevin Gausman here in the second inning.
First one by Smith that was handled by Crawford. This one, same pitch, same area. Down and into the right-handed hitter Taylor. And just a laser beam to left center. And when you watch Chris Taylor play, he only has one speed, and that's hustle at all times. It's almost about as fast as he ran around the bases on his home run in the wild card game.
Yeah, he said he barely felt his feet running around the bases. He's had some big moments in the postseason in the past for the Dodgers. None bigger than the walk-off on Wednesday. But he's in the starting lineup tonight. Delivers with a 1-out double. And here is Cody Bellinger. So Bellinger plays first base tonight for Los Angeles. And that is a major question each and every game. Who will play first base? Max Muncy, Brandon Belt, both injured and out for each of these teams. Gausman deals, and Bellinger takes a strike.
Not many opportunities last night for the Dodgers offense. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. This is their 3rd at-bat so far with a runner in scoring position. 0 for 2 so far.
Turner and Turner, Trey and Justin coming up empty in the first inning. Shift is on for Bellinger. 3 infielders on the right side, and Bellinger fouls one away. Dave Roberts talked to us about the move with Chris Taylor in center field and Bellinger at first base, and there's a lot of trust factor there in the postseason in the past, and that's why he goes this way. The other option would have been Gavin Lux, who has been a hot hitter down the stretch, but a young hitter at that. And Bellinger is versatile enough to play a high-level center field and a high-level first base. So that's the move tonight against the right-handed Gausman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bellinger spoils it out of play. It's just the 3rd start and the 5th game at first base this season for Bellinger. Has not started a game at first base, Ronnie, since July 8th. Of course, Max Muncy has pretty well locked that down in this great race, the everyday first baseman for Los Angeles. We're hoping to visit with Max Muncy and Brandon Belt today, the 2 wounded first basemen. Love to get their thoughts and their perspective. One, 2. And a swing and a miss. Did you see Posey there? He gave him a little possum. He put the glove high in case location was being given, and Gausman just let it fly off the bottom of the table right there for a swing and miss strikeout.
Gabe Kapler told us before the game that when Gausman's pitch, the split finger, is most effective, it starts in the middle of the plate. Because of its break, though, that's how he gets the swing and misses.
The savvy Buster Posey. You never know if location is given. Check this out. Going up here, and I'm actually going down here, and down he goes. 2nd strikeout for Gausman. I mean, you don't know if Chris Taylor is giving location, but in case he is, you throw him off the scent. 2 outs. Here's A.J. Pollock.
That play by Posey only really works in 2 ways. If the runner on second is giving location, or you have a peeker at the plate. Occasionally you have those hitters that will take a little glance where the target is.
Can sense where the catcher is. Pollock 0 for 6 so far in the post. He's 1 for his last 16. And this was some deliberation by Dave Roberts as well with A.J. Pollock. You know, he's nursing a sore hamstring. They're going to intentionally walk him here. So with the pitcher coming up after Pollock gets ahead in the count, Gabe Kapler puts up 4 fingers to send Pollock to first base, and you'd rather deal with Julio Urias instead of Pollock in a hitter's count. So 2 men are on now with 2 away, and the pitcher Urias will bat.
Well, especially down 2-0 count to Pollock, you don't want to have to come into him.
Urias does have 9 RBIs this year, tied for the most among pitchers at the plate in the major leagues this season. Can handle the bat pretty well. He knows what he's doing. Also finished 3rd in overall hits among National League pitchers. He's tied with German Marquez of the Rockies for RBIs this season. But he's still a pitcher. And a better matchup here for Gabe Kapler. There's a lot of discussion that we might not have pitchers batting for themselves after this season. Could be a DH in both leagues, just as we saw last year in the shortened season. I don't know, there's always a little spice to these at-bats, though, and you can flip the script in a big way. Taylor with great speed at second base, a 1-out double. Pollock intentionally walked. He's at first. Normally very fast, but slowed by a Uninjured hamstring. Oh, that ball's hit hard right field, sinking fast. It's down. Slater comes up with it, throw to the plate, up the line, gets by, and it's an RBI single for Julio Urias, and the Dodger pitcher makes him pay.
That's his 13th hit this year, his 10th RBI now for Urias. That was a split finger he hit in the middle of the plate. You throw a split finger to a pitcher, it becomes like an easy fastball to hit. And he hit a bullet to right field. It was hit so hard, I thought Slater was going to really have a chance at home plate.
Slater does have a good arm, and he really closed on it to try to have a shot at Taylor, but the throw was way up the line. Pollock ends up at third base, and Julio Urias does indeed flip the script. And now Gausman in all kind of trouble here. A run in. First run of the series for the Dodgers, and now Gausman facing Mookie Betts.
First hit with a runner in scoring position goes to the pitcher for the Dodgers.
How's that make you feel?
Yeah, fantastic. Don't change it yet.
That's got him quiet and a bit stunned here at Oracle Park. Betts walked and stole second base in the first inning. And Betts stings one into left center. A base hit will drive in another run. Urias will stop at second. Mookie Betts with an RBI single, and the Dodgers alive and well here in game 2. They put 2 on the board in the second inning.
Another split finger right in the middle of the plate. Just Darren Betts to hit it. Line drive almost gets in the gap, but Ruff closes it up. Second run for the Dodgers.
And Mookie Betts on base twice. He's got 3 hits in this series. Crowd trying to help him out. Kevin Gausman is in the deep waters right now. Gabe Kapler calls for the intentional walk to A.J. Pollock. Urias and Betts with RBI singles. 2-0. Here is Corey Seager. Seager takes the ball.
That move by Kapler to intentionally walk Pollock is a nightly occurrence in the National League in front of the pitcher.
Yeah, no question. Almost just turn the brain off. This is what we do. This is what most people do. But he's still got a bat in his hand, and he's able to extend the inning. Urias with a short lead at second base. Seager late on it, fouls it away. Seager's been one of the all-time greats with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He has delivered so often in his career. His career batting average is .327 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Going back to 1974, that's tied for the 3rd highest batting average. That's a strike. He got one off the edge. And Gausman gets ahead 1-2.
There's been some pitches not close that have been called strikes so far.
2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers have 2 men aboard. And a swing and a miss. We got him. Gausman with a strikeout with a splitter, but not before the Dodgers put 2 on the board. And Julio Urias, the Dodger pitcher, helps his own cause here tonight in the second inning.
Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Boy, what a beautiful night here in San Francisco. The Dodgers just put 2 on the board in the top of the second inning. Don't forget, you can get your game on at MLBshop.com. Authentic on-field caps, tees, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and wear what the champs wear at the official source, MLBshop.com. Saturday night, San Francisco, and now the Giants playing from behind. Urias and Mookie Betts with RBI singles. Urias deals strike one to Wilmer Flores, starting the bottom of the second. Urias with 2 Ks in the first, gave up a 2-out double to Slater, and then struck out Posey to end the inning. Ronnie, both of these teams are great front runners. The San Francisco Giants, the best in Major League Baseball when they score first, and the Dodgers are number 2 in that category.
Yeah, Giants 78-15, Dodgers 79-20, and you know why? Because they've had the best 2 bullpens all season long.
Great pitching all the way around. The starters excellent as well. The Dodgers are certainly set up, and we talked to Dave Roberts about this before the game. You don't want to be in the wild card game, but they won the wild card game, and now they've got Max Scherzer waiting for Game 3 in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium on Monday night. Down to his knee goes Flores, and a swing and a miss to make it 2-2.
Well, so far I really like the approach of Urias. The way he's approaching these right-handed hitters, a lot of pitches up and in. A couple of broken bats already.
A pitcher that at this point of his career has proved he is made for the bright lights of the postseason. Almost relishes the pressure of it. Calms himself.
Calm down. He's a tough kid, good athlete, repeatable mechanics, everything you'd want in a youngster.
Had a 1.17 ERA in the postseason last year. Flores right in on the knuckles again. He fouls that one back, and it's 3-2. Urias, the 4th Mexican-born pitcher to win 20 games in a major league season. Fernando, of course. Teddy Higuera, a 20-game winner. Esteban Loaiza on that list. Pitch number 7 coming to Flores. 4 fastballs thus far. Let's see what he has in mind on the 3-2. And that one misses. It was close. Urias wanted to call, didn't get it. Flores draws the walk. Good at bat to start the inning for the Giants' first baseman. And Urias a little miffed at Angel Hernandez on this one.
Oh, beautiful pitch, 3-2. Looked like a strike to me. Flores gets the call.
Smith stuck the landing back there. And it did look good. Might have caught a piece in that gray area. This one goes to the Giants. First walk allowed this season in this ballpark for Julio Urias.
Roberts
establishing roots early on where he stands.
He knows how important this inning is. That's why he's all over Hernandez, the home plate umpire.
Here's Brandon Crawford. Crawford on the first pitch, fouls it away. Crawford, an MVP caliber year, a career year for him. 24 homers, best he has had as a big leaguer. 90 runs batted in this season, also a career high. Finished in the top 10 in batting average as well. Hit .294 this year as he sends one foul and out of play. Lone Depot home means everything RBI stat. Giants postseason RBI leaders. Posey number 1. Crawford is number 4. 18th RBI came last night with a homer. Oh, 2 pitch. Don't forget, for every RBI during the NLCS, Lone Depot will be donating $1,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. That's on top of the over $500,000 they've already donated this year.
Crawford hit that home run, Brian, off Alex Vesia last night on the first pitch curveball. He just got a curveball 2 pitches prior.
Got lefty on lefty last night. And his first at bat tonight. And Crawford fouls it off. Count stays at 0-2. This is second postseason homer. At age 34, the third oldest shortstop to homer. It's good company there. Derek Jeter, Edgar Renteria. Nobody out. Lead runner on, and Crawford hits one in the air, left center down, base hit. Just a beautiful piece of hitting. Crawford goes the other way, and he's got back-to-back hits against left-handed Dodger pitchers. And the Giants quickly put 2 on with nobody out.
Brian, he fouled off a lot of tough pitches to get to this pitch, a high four-seamer from Urias. Ball's middle though, and he's able to hit it to left center field. Ran up the bat just a little bit, but poked it into left field, and the Giants are in business.
A walk and a single. 2 men are on. And Urias facing Evan Longoria here. Longoria, slumping hitter, open for some postseason magic, and he sends one in the air deep into left center field. High towering fly ball. Betts lost it initially. I beg your pardon. Taylor lost it initially, then found it and makes the play. There was all kind of panic setting in for a moment. Taylor looked up and did not see the ball. Out number 1. Flores advances to third.
Well, when you move Bellinger to first base, Taylor's a good center fielder also. Maybe not as good as Bellinger. And that ball carried here to left center field, so he had to stay with it, and he did.
It's a monster fly ball. Watch Taylor right at the outset. He'll raise his hands right out here. I can't see it. Then he finds it.
He was shaded a bit to right center field, so it was a long run for Chris Taylor. Appropriate play, throwing that ball back into second.
So first and third. Urias with his first out. Donovan Solano at the plate. And he takes a ball. Gabe Kapler not afraid to go to his bench early. Already Tommy La Stella is on deck. La Stella and Solano are the platoon at second base, but the pitcher spot is due up next. Zach Littell up and warming in the Giants bullpen. Solano into center field. Taylor closes. He's got it. Tagging up is Flores. Throw comes in late, and the Giants are on the board. Sacrifice fly and an RBI for Donovan Solano.
Well, what makes this play interesting? Good at bat by Solano to get this into center field. But Wilmer Flores does not run very well. So this could have been a play if it was a little shallower, but he gets in for the first run. Taylor knows that too, and that's why he threw it to home.
And Crawford stays put at first. So a couple of fly ball outs to center, advancing a runner to third, and then advancing a runner home. And it's 2-1 Dodgers. They pull Estella back. He was the wooden duck, apparently, the decoy. And Kevin Gausman will bat. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter is Gausman. There's that protective padding on his hand, his pitching hand.
I don't think that La Stella would have been a decoy if that had been a hit by Solano. I think they would have tried for a big inning.
If the wheels are in motion,
Yeah.
you say. Now that there's 2 outs, maybe a different story. It is interesting, though, that La Stella was the choice there against Urias, with La Stella and Solano being the second base combination typically. There are platoons everywhere for Gabe Kapler. This team maximized their pinch hitters and their matchups as well as anyone in the majors. A strike to Gosman. 1-2 the count.
There's one game in September where Gabe Kapler had used 5 pinch hitters, and Gosman finally came up and walked him off with a sac fly.
That's right. He can handle the bat pretty well. Hit a $185 this year. And he works the count 2-2. You know he wants to return the favor to Urias, who delivered an RBI single in the top of the second inning. Two with 2 outs. Giants have scored in the second, and Gosman strikes out. That'll retire the side for Urias. He gives up a run though. Solano with a sacrifice fly. 2-1 Dodgers. LA coming to bat in the third. All the intensity of the National League Division Series and the 2021 NLDS on TBS is presented by Good Sam. Dodgers get 2 in the second. Urias and Mookie Betts with RBI singles. Giants come back with a run of their own at the bottom of the second inning on an RBI sac fly from Donovan Solano. Here we go to the third now. 2-1 Los Angeles. Trey Turner, Justin Turner, and Will Smith will start it against Kevin Gosman. And in there for a strike. Gosman with the split finger fastball. That's a pitch that got him in a little bit of trouble last inning. Urias' RBI single came on a splitter.
Betts' single as well.
Turner is hitless in the postseason, and a wave and a miss. That one just died. Back-to-back splitters from Gosman, and it's 0-2 on Turner. Turner 0 for 4 last night. Hitless in this series, I should say. And that bounces in. Posey keeps it in front just in case. So those are the results of the split finger fastball thus far. Given up 2 hits on it and has gotten 3 outs. It's his pitch. He's added a few different options with the splitter. He basically was a 2-pitch pitcher most of the first half, and then recently has started to add a little bit of a slider. Also has a changeup. Little tapper, got to hurry. Turner can fly. Gosman's throw, and it's in time for the out. Bang bang play at first base. Gosman very athletic, and he makes a play on Trey Turner. I'm sure the Dodgers want to have a look at this.
Well, beaten to the ground by Turner. Good job by Gosman getting there and barehanding. That was the key.
Got him. Nice play.
Again, Wilmer Flores' foot right in the middle of that bag. He's going to have to watch out that the runners don't run up on his heel.
There was a day when that was automatic. But going to the side of the bag, Turner, and just got him. So 1 away. That brings up Justin Turner. Lined out his first time up. Hit one sharply to left. Gosman was injured earlier this year against the Dodgers on a similar play, more toward third base, but injured his hip. He had been battling some hip tightness, and that was a game back in May. Had to come out of the game, but he bounces off that mound pretty well.
Gosman has faced 13 hitters now. He's thrown a first pitch ball to 10 of them.
Not usually a good recipe for success. Had a leadoff walk in the first, stranded a runner at second, and then 2 scored last inning. 1 away for Justin Turner. 2-0 the count. In there. So there's the slider, Ronnie.
Yeah, that's the pitch that Turner had not thought about. The third pitch of Gosman trying to get back in the count. A little slider gets him there. He doesn't use that pitch to wipe out hitters. It's really to get back into the count.
And now the 2-1 and a fastball, top of the strike zone. 2-2 the count. And Gausman is right. Obviously, he gets a lot of swings and misses, but it's like one pitch sets up the other. His command is usually on point. Can throw it where he wants. That was a well-located fastball there. 2-2, and Turner chases that splitter and fouls it away. It all changes when you're throwing strikes. And just the level of the pitches, the planes in which they come.
That's right.
It's Dave Roberts saying we got to stop chasing, but when you put these pitches together, easier said than done.
Although with 2 strikes there, that was a good at bat by Turner just to get a piece of that. At his best, Gausman's fastball is at the top of the strike zone and his splitter is underneath the strike zone.
2-2 the count. Turner, center field, back on it. Bryant at the track. He's got it for the out. Justin Turner sends one to the deep reaches of center field. A long, loud out. 2 up and 2 down for Gausman.
Well, that starts to get to the parts of this ballpark that are the deepest parts. And he hit it high enough, and it looked like it would have some carry on it, but Bryant catches it safely in front of the track.
They moved those fences in here at Oracle Park 2 years ago. So it is a little more home run friendly. The Giants lineup made it a lot more home run friendly statistically, as Will Smith takes strike 1.
That's right. They responded with 241 home runs. Only the Toronto Blue Jays with 262 had more.
Smith lined to short his last time up, left to bat nearly 110 miles an hour. And a swing and a miss. Big wave at that one. Again, Gausman going with plan C here, and that's a slider.
Well, he didn't throw any in the first 2 innings, so trying to incorporate that here in the third.
Here's an 0-2 and missed. Not by much. Back to the slider again. This time Smith takes it. I think Gausman put it right where he wanted to, though. Two hits last night for Will Smith. Bouncing ball, Flores right there. Race to the bag, he'll shovel it to Gausman, and that'll retire the side. Kevin Gausman, a 3-up, 3-down third. Dodgers 2, Giants 1, San Francisco coming to bat. Well, and an 0-2, Abbott and Costello. Who's on first is the main question both of these managers have to answer every day. Max Muncy, Brandon Belt, both out with injury. Matt Beatty, Albert Pujols, Billy McKinney, Cody Bellinger are options for the Dodgers. Wilmer Flores, Darren Ruff, Lamont Wade Jr., and Chris Bryant are all options for the San Francisco Giants. And losing huge production from Belt and Muncy. A big story for both of these teams as we open up this division series, Ronald.
Who's on first? Both teams? I don't know.
That's right. He's at third base, right?
Yeah.
Darren Ruff. He would be one of those first base options. Tonight gets a start in left field. And the Giants leadoff hitter tonight. He struck out looking in the first inning. Julio Urias has 3 Ks. Dodgers got 2 in the second. Giants answered with a run in the bottom of the second as Urias deals, and that one missed high.
Urias is controlled just off a tiny bit.
Here's a 2-1, and that one missed. 3 balls and a strike.
can tell Julio wears his heart on his sleeve. You can tell exactly where he's at with his pitches.
Got himself in a hitter's count, Darren Ruff. And a swing and a foul. Let's take you back to Max Muncy's injury. This was on the final Sunday of the year of the regular season. Pretty benign play, but then the throw was up the line, and Muncy trying to reach across with the Brewers' Jace Peterson running. And a dislocated elbow. Actually popped the elbow back into place. And you're just trying to get to the finish line of the season with a guy who hit 36 homers this year. And it was Dave Roberts and the Dodgers' worst case scenario. They're the two Maxes. And Max Muncy can only be a spectator right now, and so you lose all this production, but you also lose a very good defensive first baseman.
He really has worked hard on his defense at all the positions he's played, and he's gotten much better than his first couple of seasons.
3-2 the count on Ruff. And he struck him out. Between innings, Lauren had a chance to visit with Max Muncy. Listen in.
Max, Dave said today you'd be back sooner than later. What does that mean?
We're still not sure yet. We're working through some things, trying to get range of motion back in the elbow. It's a painful process, but we're hoping that means, when we move on, we can hopefully I can help the team in some way, shape, or form.
I don't know who's pacing more, you or Max Scherzer in the dugout. Tough to watch from afar.
At least Max knows he has a chance to get in there and help out. I'm kind of just sitting on my thumbs right now, so it's it really sucks, but I'm trying to do anything I can to help these guys out and cheer them on.
Wishing you help.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And our thanks to Max Muncy. Bryant rolls one over to third. Justin Turner takes care of him for out number 2.
Max Muncy is almost like the hitting muse for this lineup for the Dodgers. He's so patient, doesn't chase pitches, takes a lot of pitches, has great power. He's really a real cornerstone of the middle of that lineup for the Dodgers. So having him out is a huge loss.
Has that big brace on that elbow. They are encouraged that it could heal. Apparently he is a fast healer. It could heal to the level where he can play. He is more of a long shot to come back if the Dodgers continue on than Brandon Belt. Brandon Belt looks like he would have a chance to come back maybe as early as next series in the NLCS if the Giants advance out of this NLDS. There's Joe Kelly up in the Dodger bullpen, even though Urias has retired the first 2 batters. And Austin Slater at the plate. Kelly just starting to throw right now. And that one's in the air. Lazy pop up. And it's going to be Turner to make the call in the catch. A 10-pitch inning. 1-2-3 inning for Julio Urias. 3 in the books in San Francisco. Game 2. 2-1 Dodgers. You ever wonder why baseball loves bobbleheads or what your favorite players keep in their lockers? Want to know what the superstars talk about in the dugout? MLB Originals has these answers and much more. You can stream today in the MLB app. 4th inning from Oracle Park in San Francisco. Chris Taylor will lead off for the Dodgers here. There's strike 1 from Gausman. And we talked about the Max Muncy story with the Dodgers and losing their first baseman. Brandon Belt is the other big part of the story for the Giants. And Brandon Belt, who has fought through some injuries this year, but having a big year and a big power hitter, has sent Gabe Kapler back to the drawing board a little bit as well with his first baseman. Kapler threatened to move last inning with Tommy La Stella. Didn't pull the trigger. Only used 1 player off the bench last night. Gausman's got Taylor in an 0-2 count. And that one's on the ground. Laying out for it. Longoria to his feet. The throw in time. Close play at first base. Evan Longoria, former Gold Glove third baseman, makes a beautiful play. The fountain of youth right there for Longoria.
He's been quiet offensively, but he always was so good at this position, able to go to his left with the dive, corrals it, and makes the one-hop throw that Flores comes up with.
3 times a Gold Glove Award winner, all with the Tampa Bay Rays. And another big play. The Giants are a tight defensive group. And Longoria gets the first out here. So all of a sudden Gausman is retired 5 in a row. Here's Cody Bellinger now.
Two excellent plays in 2 days by Flores at first base as well.
Cody Bellinger, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. Just 2 hits all year against the Giants. And a swing and a miss. Yeah, that splitter, it just dives. And Bellinger, who's been chasing that split finger fastball tonight, comes up empty once again. Gausman almost as if he's pitching with a smile, working that gum. Here's the 0-2. Bellinger, shift is on, almost slapped one down the line for an extra base hit.
Gausman almost had that ball by him, and he hit it so late that he almost kept it fair inside that third baseline.
Wide open spaces over there. Third base umpire Doug Eddings right on it. Crawford, the lone infielder on the left side. Two for 52 against the Giants this year in 14 games. One of those 2 hits was a homer. 0-2 pitch. Able to take one. 1-2. That'll feel like a victory for Bellinger. Recognized it. And Gausman misses outside.
You know, when you've had such a difficult season like Bellinger has had this year, it's got to feel good in a way to just flip it and start all over again here in the postseason. And he had an excellent wild card game.
Yeah, wipe out that batting average. It's up there in the OPS, up there on the scoreboard from the regular season. 1-2, and a swing and a foul. So again, let's just give you a look here. We're talking Muncy and Belt, and this was what happened to Belt. He was drilled September 26th. He was trying to bunt. It broke his thumb, and that's on his left hand. And so the Muncy injury, the Belt injury, it has changed the way these two managers will use players off the bench. You might see 2 or 3 first basemen in each game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he got him. Foul tip and a strikeout for out number 2. Lauren had a chance to talk with Brandon Belt between innings.
Brandon, how's the thumb? What's the hope if you advance?
We're still working on it right now. We're throwing everything we got at it. I'm not exactly sure where I'm at yet, but I'm still hopeful for the NLCS. If not, hopefully I can be back for the World Series.
How do you captain from the dugout?
I think just showing up, and just support them any way I can. If I can't make it in the game, I'll be their biggest cheerleader.
Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Brian.
All right, thanks for that. We appreciate Brandon Belt, Max Muncy spending some time with us. Wanted to hear from those guys as this series goes on. There's a big deal made about the captaincy of Brandon Belt. Shirts made, and he can captain just as well from that dugout near his manager, Gabe Kaplan.
Well, he's kind of a de facto captain, but one game went out there with a tape C.
That's right. I am the captain now. And then the shirts made up. It worked. 2 outs here. Gausman facing A.J. Pollock. Gausman starting to settle in right now, and a swing and a miss. Ever since he introduced that slider, Ronnie, it's changed how the Dodgers are seeing Gausman. That was that slider right there, and now it's 1-1.
Now, when everything's on and he's at the top of his game, he can pitch in a game with just 2 pitches, but it started out a little slow, so he had to incorporate that slider.
Got a beautiful play from Evan Longoria to start this inning. Took a hit away from Taylor. 2 men are out in the 4th. And the 1-1. Pollock takes a ball. Gausman gave up 3 consecutive base runners. The first was Pollock on an intentional walk in the second, and then back-to-back RBI singles by the pitcher Urias, and then Mookie Betts, the leadoff man. That was the 2-run second inning, but nothing since for Gausman. A strike. 2-2 down.
Gausman was the opening day starter for the Giants, and now his first postseason start.
Two and 2 to A.J. Pollock. Gausman tried to make it 7 straight, and he got him. A strikeout to end the inning. 7 in a row for Kevin Gausman. Stay tuned for a message now brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of MLB. Ready to lead off as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. A postseason star for the Giants. 3-time world champion Buster Posey, 2010, 2012, 2014. Last night hit a home run. His first homer in the postseason since that 2012 season.
Leading off innings, on base percentage for Buster, .425.
Julio Urias back to work for Los Angeles. And Posey takes a ball. Urias struck out Posey in the first inning. It would appear that Kevin Gausman is settling in. That's a fly ball to right on the run. Betts, he turns. Betts cannot make the play. 1 hop off the wall. Posey into second base with a leadoff double. His home run last night came to the opposite field. Now an extra base hit to start the 4th.
You can count on one hand the times you've seen Mookie Betts get turned around by a ball off the bat. And this ball off the bat of Posey on a changeup, down and away. And I don't think Mookie thought he hit it hard enough. And once he realized it was over his head, a couple of circles and a couple of turns, and the ball 1 hops the wall.
The Giants have 2 doubles tonight. Austin Slater, now Buster Posey. Giants with their 3rd hit. And here is Wilmer Flores. Flores, we talked about the first base carousel. He's been the call for Gabe Kapler because of his bat and what he can do right here, especially in spots like this. Flores has hit well against the Dodgers this year. A .311 batting average in 12 games this season. Has a couple of home runs and 5 RBIs. Oh, had a big cut.
Buster now 10 for 20 of Urias with 4 doubles. Wilmer Flores, from the day he got in the major leagues, always has hit well against left-handed pitching.
They figured tonight was going to be a lock to start at first base, but he was in there last night as well against Walker Buehler. Flores 0 for 4 last night. He walked and scored in the second inning. And Flores to center field, got some hook on it, and running it down is Taylor. Posey has to retreat. Flores hit that right on the barrel. A line drive out to center field, out number 1 for Urias.
You're right on the barrel, BA, but good jump by Chris Taylor, who got to that in time. Nothing for Posey to do there. Had to come halfway as Taylor makes that catch.
Taylor's been busy tonight.
There's no way he can tag up on that and advance to third base, so he went halfway.
A look from our T-Mobile base cam. Two to 1 Dodgers lead. All runs coming in the second inning. Now the Giants threaten. Tying run at second in Posey. Here's Brandon Crawford now.
Look at that number.
That's a big number. 5th best in all of baseball. A .353 hitter this year with runners in scoring position. And he drove in 90 this year. Popped him up. Playable for Turner. Justin Turner makes a play for the out. 2 are gone. Posey still at second base, so Urias. It's 2 outs in the air. And now it'll be Evan Longoria.
Urias and Smith now going to change the signs after 2 outs with the runner on second.
Longoria had a fly out in the second inning. It was a productive out, though. It allowed Flores to advance to third, and then Flores would score on the sac fly by Solano. Two outs in the dirt. Good block back there by Will Smith.
Well, Smith slides over and keeps that ball in front of him. Hit off the edge of that glove. Sometimes that can carry him away, but he kept it in front of him.
2 excellent catchers in Posey and Smith. Longoria finished the season 0 for his last 20. 0 for 1 tonight. And a swing and a miss. Jose Alvarez in the Giants bullpen. Not throwing a baseball quite yet. That weighted ball to get loose. You got Alvarez and Jake McGee that Gabe Kapler will use when the fire's hot with men on base. Alvarez first typically, and then Jake McGee. Looks like Alvarez getting ready just in case pitcher spot should bat here. Gausman still 2 spots away. Down in the hold right now. Solano is on deck.
Longoria, who got off to such a quick start this season, but then battled injuries the rest of the way.
Longoria had a collision with Brandon Crawford in early June. Injured his left shoulder. And then a couple of weeks ago was hit by a pitch. Injured his thumb. So it's understandable. Thumb injuries, hand injuries. He's not been himself at the plate. Postseason has a tendency to change that sometimes. He's late, fouls it away. Urias sticking with the fastball here.
Urias has been pretty fastball heavy all game. Love that follow through from Urias. That left leg just spinning through.
61 pitches for Urias, 30 of those fastballs. And has mixed the curve and the change equally. Here's the 2-2. Longoria takes a ball.
Urias during the regular season averaged about 15 pitches per inning, so it really has been tougher this evening. Watch the finish with that left leg. It comes all the way through and across.
I think he liked the feel of that pitch, though. He was nodding as if to say, I like the way that came out of my hand. Like he knows something nobody else does. Here's the 3-2 with 2 outs. Longoria, fly ball right field, bets a long run toward the line. He's there, he's got it, and the inning is over. And Urias works around a leadoff double by Posey. 2-1 Dodgers. We go to the 5th.
Good Sam RV Parks, America's largest campground network. And by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G network.
It's a beautiful Saturday night in San Francisco and the Bay Bridge. 2-1 Dodgers. This is game 2 of the National League Division Series. Brian Anderson with Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi with you. Great to have you with us tonight. This series will be moving to Los Angeles after a travel day tomorrow. Game 3 will be Monday night here on TBS from Dodger Stadium. Julio Urias. Now the RBI single in the second inning, part of the 2-run inning. And Urias slices one foul and out of play. Urias was at the plate in the second inning. Dave Kapler intentionally walked A.J. Pollock to get to him, and then he hit a liner to right for an RBI. First RBI by a Dodger pitcher in the postseason since Yu Darvish. 2017. That was in the LCS. And the way he tracks pitches, I mean, it looks like he's got an idea. He enjoys this part of the game.
His career average is around the 200 mark. He hit 200 this season.
Hit 200, won 20 games.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good year. 1-2. And a swing and a miss. He got him. Gausman really starting to settle in now, Ronnie. That's his 6th strikeout. He's retired 8 straight. A reminder, T-Mobile covers the most interstate highway miles with 5G. Home or away, you can stay connected to your team with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Our T-Mobile base cams taking you down on the field. Gausman was maybe a batter away with the Giants at the plate from being lifted for a pinch hitter and taken out of this game. That was back in the second inning. He had just given up 2 runs in the top of the second. He is on a roll right now. The Dodgers have not had a hit since Mookie Betts' RBI single back in that second, and now it's Betts who takes strike 1.
Well, that's been the difference for Gausman in these 8 straight retired, is he's now starting to mix in a first pitch strike.
Shift is on, expecting Betts to hit one on the ground to the left side. And it is on the ground to the left side. Brandon Crawford gobbles it up, and there is out number 2 for Gausman. 9 in a row retired.
Both these pitchers with a little hiccup, but now on top of their game.
Gausman out of LSU was actually drafted by the Dodgers out of high school. And a high draft pick, actually. Went 6th in the 6th round and decided to go to college. And was a star at LSU. Drafted with very high expectations. Coming out of Baton Rouge. Gausman was eventually, talking about a guy betting on himself, he was the 4th overall pick. Just 2 years later, out of college, Orioles drafted him and never kind of got to the level the Orioles were hoping. He was in the big leagues quickly at age 22. Been a good pitcher for a long time. Been a great pitcher this year as he misses to Seager.
His first winning season with 14 wins for Pollock. 2 strikeouts so far for Seager.
Two outs in the 5th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right off the end of the bat, Gausman pounces, throw to first in time. He's locked and loaded now. Kevin Gausman with a 9-pitch inning. He's retired 10 in a row, and it's a 2-1 Dodger lead with the Giants coming to bat, bottom of the 5th. Actor Tom Cruise enjoying the festivities here tonight in Game 2 as we take a look at today's odds powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. Total combined homers, 2.5 is the number. And so far, both pitchers keeping the ball in the ballpark. 2-run Dodgers second. Giants answered with 1 in the bottom of the second. Julio Urias back on the mound. Donovan Solano will lead off. Kevin Gausman spot in the order due next. Gabe Kapler has already sent Mike Yastrzemski on deck. So we could have a pinch hitter next. He had La Stella on deck earlier, pulled him back, let Gausman hit. Gausman's retired 10 in a row for San Francisco. Solano fouls it away. He was late, and it's a ball and a strike. Meanwhile, for the Dodgers, Ronnie, Joe Kelly warming up for the second time now as Urias starts his inning.
We saw him in the wild card to replace the starter and get a big out in the middle of the game. Dominic Leone up for the Giants.
So the wheels in motion for both managers. Close game, low scoring affair once again. Solano into right field, hit pretty well. Back is Betts with room and makes the catch on the track for out number 1. And let's see what Gabe Kapler does. He's going to pull Yastrzemski back, and Gausman will hit. Got a lot of wooden ducks down there tonight.
That's right. So thinking this is the second time that Gausman had to stay in the dugout with his helmet on and his bat and waiting to see what was going to happen.
Hiding.
Yes. To get a new life.
It's so fun and interesting to go along with both of these managers and how they maneuver. You know, the thought was if Solano reached, maybe you send Gausman up to bunt. And then if you made it out, then maybe you go for a little power with Yastrzemski, but just the opposite. The out was made, Gausman hits.
Well, this game is so critical to both managers. Obvious why it's critical for the Dodgers, who need to tie this up, and then they'll have home field advantage when they go back to Los Angeles. And of course, trying to push this envelope is Kapler to try to get up 2 games.
Gabe Kapler managed his first postseason game of his career last night, and a 4-0 shutout win behind Logan Webb. Kapler and Roberts are friends. They're former colleagues. They work together in the Dodgers organization. Kapler was the farm director under Andrew Friedman. Urias misses. Gausman takes ball 1. Urias struck him out last time up. Has 4 Ks thus far. And make it 5. A spinner. Almost not fair. 2 up and 2 down. And 5 in a row now for Urias. Hey, don't forget, NBA opening night coming your way. It's presented by Kia. It returns to TNT when Giannis and the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks host KD and the Nets. Followed by Stephen Curry and the Warriors taking on LeBron James and the Lakers Tuesday on TNT. The Chase Center, home of the Warriors. Beautiful new building. And here on this side of the bay in San Francisco. Looking forward to that. The great Ernie Johnson will lead the coverage as usual. Darren Ruff takes a strike, and he's upset. Remember, Ruff was called out on strikes in the first inning on a pitch that looked to be off the plate. He didn't like that, and he's letting the home plate umpire know about it. No balls and a strike. Ruff in the air. Fly ball right field. Betts long way to go. It is Bellinger in foul territory. Cody Bellinger makes a nice running catch. Nice to have that kind of athleticism from a first baseman. Dodgers Giants. They've been going at each other over 130 years. Dodgers lead by 1 here in game 2. Well, the intensity of the National League Division Series. First time ever that these two storied rivals match up in the postseason. The Dodgers and the Giants, through the lens of our TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Kevin Gausman back to work, and Trey Turner whistles one foul on the first offering. Trey Turner, Justin Turner, Will Smith coming up here in the 6th inning for LA. A 2-run Dodgers second. RBIs from Urias, the pitcher, and Mookie Betts. Those came back-to-back against Gausman. He has settled in and retired 10 in a row since. No balls and a strike. And Turner, that is fair, down the line. Turner with his great speed on his way to second base. And it's a leadoff double for the Dodgers here in the 6th inning. And the first hit for LA since the 2nd inning.
First hit for Turner, Trey Turner in this series. Split finger, another one that hangs more in the middle part of the plate and pulled down the left field line by Turner. So fast, got to try to keep that helmet on.
Running out of his helmet, one of the fastest players in the big leagues. And he's thinking third all the way. Might not always be able to make it, but even on those line drives to left. So Andrew Bailey out to chat with Gausman. Gives us a chance to send it down to Lauren Shahadi. What do you have, Lauren?
Yeah, Turner and Crawford just gave each other a nod, some mutual respect between the two. Trey says he asks Crawford for advice all the time because he's so locked down on defense. And Crawford, returning the compliment, says he's powerful and fast, just like we just saw him. Not the best combination for us. Underrated superstar, Crawford said.
What was that nickname, Lauren, for Trey Turner in college at NC State? Seabiscuit? That's right. He's small, but he can fly. Whoa. And he certainly can. He packs a punch as well with 28 homers this year. Puts a little slug on him to start the 6th, and it's a leadoff double. Meeting at the mound from the pitching coach Bailey, and now Justin Turner. 2-1 Dodgers, 6th inning. A strike. Buried fastball. Kevin Gausman right at the bottom of the zone in the bottom corner. Gabe Kapler trusting Gausman to get through the heart of the order here. Oh, he's late. Boy, he put that one right by Turner. Came back with the fastball, and it's 0-2.
It was late, but it looked like Turner was trying to work that ball to the right side with Turner on second base. Become in the postseason, these were almost team at-bats right here.
Anything on the ground to the right side, Turner will be on the move. Try to advance him with nobody out. Got Will Smith on deck. Gausman, a long pause. Here he comes, and a swing and a miss. Turner saying he fouled it off. Angel Hernandez raises the thumb on him. It's a strikeout.
It was fouled. It was whether it hit the dirt before it got to the glove of Posey. And Posey catches it clean.
Whether he tipped it or not. And a strikeout for Gausman, a big one right there. That's number 7. First out of the inning. Trey Turner still at second base. Dodgers now 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And here is Will Smith. Posey smothers one. Saw Dominic Leone a moment ago. He's back up and throwing. Chris Taylor due next. Then Bellinger. But a big out right there for Gausman, striking out Justin Turner.
The ball on the field in right center. Have to get that off. There goes Chris Bryant to get it. With Turner, Justin Turner not able to move Trey Turner along. He doesn't usually steal a lot of third bases, but certainly Trey Turner can do that.
And this would be the time to run, you would think. Hitting with men on, runners in scoring position, OPS of 808 this year. 4th best in all of baseball. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, excellent as well. A prolific offense, the Dodgers, all year long. A ball and no strikes. And that's in there. 1-1 to count.
Again, that little slider coming into play. It's the pitch that he has thrown the least amount of times of his repertoire, but maybe the most important since the third inning.
'26-year-old Will Smith already competing in his 25th postseason game. Has 13 postseason RBIs already. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1. Ruff, Bryant, and Slater. Slater has the best arm of the group in right field. Bryant has a strong arm as well. Ruff with 3 outfield assists this year.
Started his career as a first baseman.
Not anything that hits the grass. Unless he has to freeze on a line drive,
Yeah.
Turner's going to score easily. Anxious crowd here at Oracle Park. They're quiet. 2 balls and a strike. 1 man out. Dodgers in the 6th inning and threatening to score.
Veteran move there by Gausman. That little move to second base because Turner was trying to time him. 7 steals this year out of his 32. With third base for Trey Turner. You can see he's getting a little edgy on second base, trying to time it. Nice veteran move by Gausman.
Reset it. 2-1 to count. Smith 0 for 2. Hit the ball sharply in the second. And he takes. It is ball 3. We do have a base open at first. We got Chris Taylor coming up next.
It hasn't shown up for the Dodgers in runs scored, but their approach tonight offensively is so much better than it was last night. Really not chasing a lot of pitches from Gausman out of the zone.
Gausman in just his second 3-ball count. It was a shaky start for him. First 10 batters, the Dodgers had 3 hits, including one by the pitcher Urias. But just 1 for their last 12. He had retired 10 in a row before that double by Turner. Turner out at second now with 1 away. 3-1. And he would not bite. And I think Gausman's okay with that. See if he could get him to chase. He did not. And now Gabe Kapler is on his way out. Hey, don't forget, DraftKings is the best place to get in on the MLB action with daily fantasy sports betting and free-to-play pools all postseason. Play in free late-inning pools for a swing at over $50,000 in prizes. Use promo code HEAT when you sign up today.
Only problem is sometimes when you pitch around a hitter, you pitch yourself out of the ball game.
And out he goes. Gausman, an all-star this year, will exit. Leon coming in. And Giants fans give him a nice hand on his way out. The Dodgers threatening here in the 6th with 2 on and 1 out.
At the office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Reyes fires, swinging a drive, deep left field. It's his way back. Walk him off. Chris Taylor. Signature moment of these playoffs thus far. Chris Taylor with a walk-off home run against the Cardinals on Wednesday night. That was in the wild card game. Gets his first start of the postseason here tonight. He is the batter, and the new pitcher for Gabe Kapler is Dominic Leone.
You see those 57 games. 6 San Francisco Giant relievers pitched in more than 50 games. Leone, from June 1st on, ERA of 1.51.
Another one of those pitchers that has taken his success to a new level. Had been a bit of a journeyman, bouncing around with a number of organizations. Was with the Indians last year. Now excellent with the Giants. You see the final line, or at least the line at this point for Gausman. 2 runners, his responsibility. First pitch to Taylor is outside for ball 1.
Seen a lot of players on the Giant roster appearing in their first postseason game. Leon is another.
Gausman with his first postseason start. Taylor with a double in the second. Got robbed of a hit his last time up on a beautiful diving play by Longoria. He's 1 out of 2. It had been a monumental struggle for Taylor as well. But again, Dave Roberts has got a lot of players that have been in the fire before in the postseason. Taylor is one of those guys who has had great success in the postseason. Trusted him in the wild card game and trusted him with a start here tonight in center field. 2 on, 1 out. 2-1 Dodgers. Taylor late. Pop foul. That is going to be up into the net. Flores got right to the railing. If it hits the net first before it hits the glove, it's a dead ball, and Flores just couldn't quite get to it. Close.
You have to get to the railing as quick as you can and then lean against it to reach up and try to get that baseball. I think it would have hit the net probably before the glove of Flores. It's got to be an awkward thing now, right? That the net comes into play.
Fan safety. In every ballpark now. 2-1 to count. Dominic Leone. And Taylor pops this one foul out of play. That'll be in the seats. Leone played his college ball at Clemson. He's a Connecticut native. Had time with the Mariners, the Diamondbacks, the Blue Jays, a couple of years with the Cardinals, and as I mentioned last year with the Indians. But like so many on this roster, they found the magic here in San Francisco. He's in a big spot. 2-2 the count on Taylor. Turner and Smith on base, and that one misses. Went to the fastball. It was close, but a little high for Angel Hernandez.
Well, after all those sliders, Taylor was not sitting on that pitch, and he doesn't get the call. Close pitch.
Could have gone either way. Alternating fastballs, cutters, and sliders here. Full count. 1 out. Leone deals. Up and in. Lost him. So back-to-back walks. The first walk for Leone. Now the Dodgers have the bases loaded. And a moment of truth has arrived for Dominic Leone. Remember, Gausman hit in the 5th. Had Yastrzemski up there. Pulled him back after a fly ball to right for an out. Gausman struck out. Gausman only able to get 1 out here in the 6th. And now they are loaded up for Cody Bellinger.
A moment for Bellinger to erase all of 2021 regular season.
Turner, Smith, and Taylor aboard. And Bellinger hits one deep into left center field. And this ball is off the base of the wall. Turner is in. Smith is in. It's a 2 RBI double for Cody Bellinger. What a big hit for Bellinger. Four to 1 Dodgers as Bellinger bangs one off the base of the wall in deep left center field.
You could feel the weight coming off his shoulders between first and second of Bellinger. First pitch, jumped all over this high fastball and drove it into left center. That looks like the swing from 2019 when he was an MVP and 47 home runs. And just missed it by about 3 feet.
Yeah, that hit on the upper third of that wall. Bellinger, big spot for him to come through. Has not had a multi-RBI game since August 22nd. And he puts 2 on the board with 1 swing of the bat. And it's 4-1 Los Angeles. Remember, Bellinger was on base 3 times in the wild card game. Had 2 walks and a hit, had a key steal. He was on base for Taylor when Taylor hit the walk-off. And just a little bit of momentum going and some confidence as well as Tyler Rogers starts to throw in the Giants' pinch. Still 1 out. 2nd and 3rd. The infield is in. 2 hits and 2 walks in this inning for the Dodgers. And that ball's into left field. That's going to get down. A.J. Pollock, a base hit. 2 more runs are going to score. Pollock on his way to second. A belly flop double. A.J. Pollock delivers 2 for Los Angeles.
Well, Pollock struggled in last night's ball game and early in this ball game, but finally gets a strike to hit and hooks it into left field. Bellinger with a great read at second base. He scores easily. Betts is in, and now 6-1.
Oh, 2 huge hits back to back. Bellinger and Pollock. A.J. Pollock on base for the 2nd time, and a hustle double there. That's a good sign for the Dodgers. That injured hamstring that they've had the governor on for A.J. Pollock. He was flying around the bases. And now Gavin Lux pinch hitting.
Took that one right on the screws. Ruff gets to it. It'll be too late. Good throw into second base. So you like to see this if you're a Dodger fan. And Pollock.
Been a 4-run inning for Los Angeles. Pollock at second. Still 1 out. Lux on the ground. Second base. Solano makes a play for out number 2. So Urias is done for the night after Lux pinch hits. And the Dodgers now with a 6-1 lead with 2 outs as we go back to the top of the order.
Good work by Urias and that bullpen for the Dodgers. We saw it in the wild card. They'll start coming in now.
Dodgers erupting here in the 6th. Leon in his first postseason game has given up 2 inherited runners and 2 of his own runners as he deals a strike to Mookie Betts.
Nothing phases these Dodgers. Down 3-1 to Atlanta last year in the championship series. They came back. They got talent and toughness.
Cody Bellinger delivers the big blow here in this 6th inning. Jumping on the first pitch. Betts fouls it back. Had a healthy cut. 0-2 the count now. Alvarez getting ready for San Francisco. In case this continues, you got Seager due up next. Has been a monumental struggle all year. He hasn't been healthy either.
Yeah.
But he has come up big in 2 of the 3 postseason games. Bellinger had the shoulder injury in the World Series on the home run bash. Required surgery. So it was an off season of rehab for him. And then early in the season he broke his leg on a play at first base. Had to come back from that. Had fractured ribs in the second half. He's lost a lot of strength. Well, he might be finding it when it matters most. 0-2 the count on Betts. Runner at third, Pollock. High fly ball to center. He got it on the barrel, but way under it. And that will retire the side. The Dodgers bring 8 to the plate. They score 4 times. Cody Bellinger delivers the big blow, and it's 6-1 LA.
Go around and explore every time that I can. And with my active cash card, I earn 2% cash rewards on purchases, whether I'm bowling or grabbing a bite to eat.
San Francisco on a Saturday night. Los Angeles Dodgers putting 4 on the board in the 6th inning. Used a pinch hitter Lux for Urias. He's out. 5 innings, 1 run for the lefty. And now Joe Kelly enters for LA.
Well, Joe got 2 big outs at Dodger Stadium in the wild card game when he came in for Max Scherzer.
It'll be Chris Bryant to start it for San Francisco. Cody Bellinger and A.J. Pollock both delivering 2 RBI hits. Back-to-back doubles against Dominic Leone. And a fastball strike in there from Joe Kelly. Bryant hitting second in the order tonight after a 3-hit game last night. He's 0 for 2.
Outstanding effort by Urias over 5 innings. He's the guy that the Dodgers score runs for. Over 7 runs scored for Urias this year on an average.
And he helped his own cause tonight. He drove in the first run. Dodgers were being skunked in this series until then. An intentional walk to get to Urias in the 2nd inning, and he delivered a base hit RBI single as Bryant a wave and a miss. Changeup from Kelly. Vesia, who we saw last night, begins to toss in the Dodger bullpen. And over in the Giants pen, Jake McGee. That's a guy the Giants are anxious to get back on the mound. He's been their closer, but has been out with an oblique injury. Hasn't pitched in about a month. This feels like a good opportunity to get him in there. Here's the 1-2. Bottom of the 6th inning at Oracle Park. Giants shut out the Dodgers last night 4-0. Superb pitching effort by Logan Webb. And Bellinger opens the door for the Dodgers in the 6th. 4 runs on 3 hits and 2 walks in the inning. Gausman gives up 4 earned runs in 5 1/3, and Leone 2 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. Up and in from Kelly. 2-2 now.
Like most of the relievers in the Dodgers bullpen, Kelly was hot at the end of the year. 15 games, 12 2/3 innings. Only gave up 1 earned run.
Haven't even seen his signature pitch, that big curveball. He's been known to throw a lot of consecutive curves, as he missed there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kelly came in for Max Scherzer in the wild card game with runners at the corners. Did a good job, got out of it, got 2 outs. Scherzer went 4 1/3. He was mad to be taken out, but Kelly did the job. Finished off the inning. And of course the Dodgers would win it 3-1 on Taylor's game-winning 2-run homer. Scherzer will be up game 3 in LA Monday. Ready for a payoff pitch. Lamont Wade on deck. Austin Slater was originally in the 3 spot in the batting order. One of the many platoons now that the right-handers are on for Los Angeles. You did see Vesia down there in the bullpen. Be interesting to see in a 6-1 lead if Dave Roberts would make that move. And as we say that, Vesia sits down. 3-2 the count. Do it again. Kelly, a long pause. And Bryant gets jammed a little. Pop up out to Turner. And he's got it for the out. 1 away in the 6th. Well, Play Ball is baseball and softball's initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play the game for all. You can find a league near you. Go to playball.org and follow @playball on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Lamont Wade announces the pinch hitter. That means a visit for Mark Pryor, the Dodger pitching coach, for a scouting report.
Yeah, probably just to rehash what they talked about before the game. You'd have to think that when Kelly was coming in to this series, he knew he'd have to face Crawford, have to face Wade Jr.
So it will be Lamont Wade. Slater had a double tonight, 1 out of 2, and Wade pinch hits for him and will likely stay in the game in right field. 1 gone here in the 6th inning. Dodgers finished 2nd place in the division this year. First time they have not won the National League West since the 2012 season. That was the Giants' last division title as well. The Giants with 107 wins clipped the Dodgers by 1 single game. It came right down to the end of the season. Giants had to win on their last day, and they did. They beat San Diego on the final Sunday 6 days ago. Even though the Dodgers finished hot as well, sweeping the Brewers in the final series of the year. And pretty safe to say, and by all accounts in every corner, that the Giants and the Red Sox were the 2 big surprise teams in baseball this year. The Giants, though, nobody expected 107 wins. You wouldn't even expect that with a loaded ball club. It's a remarkable feat. And Gabe Kapler, after managing the Phillies, and a very disappointing end there to his managerial reign, coming here with a lot of success as Wade draws a walk, a 1-out base runner, and a little something for the Giants here with a man on, and Posey coming up.
Yeah, you don't ever want these things to happen. Walks when you have a 5-run lead, when you come in as a reliever, especially in front of Posey.
53 hits in the postseason after his double in the 4th. That is tied with the Panda for the most in Giants history, Pablo Sandoval. (6-1) Los Angeles. Giants with a runner on. And Posey takes a ball. Still set up for an opportunity to turn 2. Trey Turner, remember, a shortstop, and will likely be the Dodgers shortstop moving forward. But has moved over to second base. And Posey dumps one into right center, a base hit. Wade will stop at second. A walk and a single, and the Giants have 2 on here in the 6th inning.
Good pitch. Breaking ball away and down, and just hit off the end of the bat to right field. Just enough on it to dump it in front of Mookie Betts. Wade Jr. with the hustle, but he couldn't go first to third on the good arm of Betts.
The vibration in that bat. Mark Pryor on the phone to the bullpen. That hit by Posey now puts him at the top of the list. The most hits in Giants postseason history. 54. And he's got the crowd back into it. 5-run game. 2 on, 1 out. Here is Wilmer Flores. Flores back up the middle. Diving stop Turner. Flips it to the bag and out at second base. Oh, what a play by Trey Turner. Covering some serious ground. Not only able to keep it from going to the outfield to save a run, but gets an out at the bag in the process.
I mean, amazing play to get it just on the end of his glove, but then to have the wherewithal to get it to Seager, who misses the bag the first time when he went to step on it. He went to step on the bag and missed it, but then came back even before the runner to get the force.
Boy, that is some play by Trey Turner.
Sometimes in these shifts, these infielders just kind of lose where they are. And Seager lost his way at second base for a moment.
Could be a key moment in this game. So now first and third. Blake Trinan now getting ready for LA. 2 on, 2 out. Here is Crawford now. Giants know they are one swing of the bat from getting right back into this one. Crawford homered last night. And Crawford takes a ball.
Crawford has been kind of their MVP all season long with big hit after big hit.
Kelly just let one fly at 99 miles an hour. Here's the 1-0. Crawford off the end of the bat. Fly ball, shallow right. That's down. Base hit. A run will score. On his way to third. The tag. He's out. Flores cut down. And the inning ends at third base. Crawford with an RBI single to score Wade. But Flores trying to go first to third is cut down at the bag.
With the spin by Betts and the perfect throw, the tag by Turner.
Wow. Turner and Betts, a couple of gems in the 6th inning.
For his shoulder and with the spinorama, the perfect throw to third base.
And the last out at third base as Turner hung right in there. A perfect throw from the outfield and an easy out at the bag. CBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Huge play in this game. Seager on the first pitch. And Jake McGee faces one batter, has one out. So let's set up Jake McGee here. This is important for a lot of reasons for the Giants. He is their, or has been their closer. Camilo Doval has taken over that role. Jake McGee has not pitched in a big league game since September 12th, the former Dodger.
But he has had quite a year. And last year at this time, he was with the Dodgers winning a World Series title.
Lamont Wade stays in the game to play right. Wade did score the run. RBI for Brandon Crawford to make it 6-2. But two excellent plays by Trey Turner and Mookie Betts. And helping Joe Kelly clean up that inning. One away. Here is Trey Turner.
That Joe Kelly inning had a little bit of everything, didn't it? To get the 3 outs.
A walk, 2 hits.
Great play by Trey Turner.
After the Dodgers scored 4 runs in the top of the 6th. That's how great defense can snuff out big innings. I think on most nights, because that's a swinging strike, most nights, most right fielders, and even most throws from Mookie Betts. Probably 9 out of 10, or at least 8 out of 10, Flores is probably going to reach, but you cannot throw it any better from that distance. I mean, it was a perfect strike right to Justin Turner from right center field. Just one outfield assist all year, mostly because nobody runs on Mookie Betts. Dodgers had the fewest outfield assists in all of baseball this season. Corey Knebel in the Dodgers pen. One ball, 2 strikes on Turner. Popped him up, shallow center field, and oh, what a catch! Chris Bryant, a full-on dive. How about the defense we've seen in the last few moments? Oh man, what a play by Bryant.
Bryant, who can play third base, first base, all the outfield positions, and here in center field, making an outstanding catch. He was playing awfully deep. So to make this play, he had to come a long way.
Oh, and the hydroplane on the grass.
It's only his 4th start in center field for the Giants. 15 in his career.
2 outs. Turner on the first pitch. Justin fouls this one away. Well, a treat to see big league players flash that kind of leather. And the grass stains to prove it.
That was an adult version of the slip and slide, right?
You got to be fast enough to actually slide. Most of us just stick in the ground. Jake McGee coming back from the oblique injury.
I'll tell you a little bit how McGee's feeling. He's seen a lot of sliders, seen a lot of changeups from a pitcher that is primarily fastball driven when he's at his best and healthiest.
Showing him a different look. He had a blown save against the Dodgers in early September. San Francisco has found something special in Camilo Doval. He pitched last inning of the 9th. That's a bouncing ball, fair ball. Longoria runs it over to first, and that will retire the side. Both teams putting up some defensive gems. And the latest one from Chris Bryant, the Giants center fielder, a 1-2-3 7th. Stretch time at Oracle Park, 6-2 Dodgers. Dodgers Giants, the 2021 National League Division Series on TBS. It's presented by Good Sam, Bellinger, and Pollock. Striking with 2 RBI doubles in a 4-run 6th inning. Dodgers led it 6-1. Giants got one back in the 6th. It is now 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Corey Knebel on the mound for Los Angeles. Evan Longoria leads off for the Giants. And Knebel misses badly on his first offer.
Knebel, an all-star in 2017, 60 saves in his career. His last 8 games for the Dodgers, batters are 1 for 24.
Came on and got a big strikeout in the wild card game. That was an electrifying moment in a 1-1 game. Longoria tonight 0 for 2. Brandon Crawford with an RBI single, but the last out made at third base on a beautiful throw by Betts to cut down Wilmer Flores, who was trying to go first to third on that single by Crawford. And a game-changing moment in the 6th. Dodgers a very tough team to come back on. They have a slew of closers down there in their bullpen, including Knebel and Blake Trinan, and their actual closer, Kenley Jansen. Longoria spoils it foul, 2-2 the count. Trinan is up just in case there is trouble. I'm sure ideally Dave Roberts would like to see Knebel get through the 7th. You'd have Trinan in the 8th, Jansen in the 9th. Day off tomorrow, and then Max Scherzer on the mound Monday in L.A. Two on Evan Longoria. Zach Littell in the Giants pen. He was warming up as early as the 2nd inning tonight. That counts for something, doesn't it? Somebody's counting those tosses in the pen. Gabe Kapler will send up a pinch hitter next. And that one's hit sharply, backhanded by Trey Turner. Throw to first is on the money. Oh, Trey Turner. Last 2 plays he has made special. One away in the 7th.
Brian, you and I came into this postseason. We've seen Trey Turner at short a lot. We felt like he was a little uncomfortable at second base as he has started to play more and more, though, looking more and more comfortable. And his second great play of this game.
There's just such a grace about Trey Turner and how easily he slides and the athleticism to get into a throwing position with something on it as well. I mean, Longoria is not a fast runner by any stretch, but that's a long throw off balance, and it was right on the money. One away. Here's Tommy La Stella pinch hitting. La Stella for Donovan Solano. Solano responsible for one of the 2 giant runs. He had a sac fly in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 tonight for Solano. La Stella was actually on deck, ready to hit in the 2nd inning. Kapler pulled him back, let Gausman hit. Gausman went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 7 Ks. As you see, Alex Dickerson ready to hit next in what is the pitcher spot.
Dave Roberts likes to talk about his bullpen guys coming in as being very neutral. They can handle right-handed hitters or left-handed hitters. And that good breaking ball from Knebel is the equalizer against the left-handed slugger.
It's a lot of velocity to cover. The gap between his curveball and his fastball significant. 15, 16 miles an hour. Here's a 2-1, and La Stella fouls it away. Knebel missed a couple of months this year with the Dodgers, had a lat injury, back of his shoulder. He's had Tommy John in his career. Injuries have set him back on a few occasions, but he's a big, strong Texan, and he's been able to come back each time, including this season. Now playing a prominent role in the bullpen for the Dodgers. You get the body right with all that experience as a closer, then you have something, and that was kind of the idea.
Take a chance on these guys that have pitched in their career in high leverage positions, because then when you don't need them to pitch in the high leverage position, you have all that experience in the 5th, 6th, or 7th inning.
Shift is on. A giant hole over there on the left side. 2-2 the count on La Stella. I was talking to Corey Knebel the other day at Dodger Stadium prior to the wild card game, and one thing he noted to me that I found interesting, and one of the reasons he enjoys pitching in this particular bullpen, because you have all those guys who can close games, and throughout the regular season, kind of to your point, the experience part, but knowing that you can hand the ball off to somebody, you might get a breather in the season, maybe you're tweaked up a little bit or injured and you need some time off. If you're the closer and you're that guy that everybody's counting on, it can be a little challenging as he puts one right by Tommy La Stella, and a strikeout for out number 2. Knebel with his first K. National League will take tomorrow off. It's a travel day in the NL. More baseball to be played, though, in the American League. Game 3 Sunday. It'll be the ALDS with the Rays and the Red Sox, all knotted at 1. That game's at 4 Eastern on MLB Network. And then Game 3 of the Astros-White Sox series, which is 2-0 Houston, 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Those games are also on ESPN Radio. Full postseason schedule is available at MLB.com. Alex Dickerson will bat for San Francisco. And the idea that pitching in the leverage innings for the Dodgers, and more so in the course of a regular season than in a postseason, but when you can step off the gas for a little while, and that was Knebel's point, that, you know, he had a lat injury Probably would have tried to push through it if he was the closer and had to be out there, but able to shut it down, get right. Now they've got a weapon that has returned.
Dodgers have 609 saves on their roster. Embarrassment of riches.
They all can talk the talk and help each other through those situations. Kenley Jansen was not great to start the year either, and he's turned it around. He's added a couple of wrinkles to his repertoire as well. It is a very good Dodger bullpen. Same can be said for the Giants. That's why these teams won as many games as they did. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count stays at 1-2. Try it again. Another 1-2 pitch. And that's in there. Dropped a big hammer on him. A curveball for strike 3. 6-2 Dodgers after 7. LA coming up. We go to the 8th inning in San Francisco. Time for the Geico game summary. It is 6-2, a 4-run Dodger 6th inning. And it was back-to-back doubles by Cody Bellinger and A.J. Pollock, both delivering 2 runs. And on the first pitch, Will Smith launches one a mile high to left field. And this one is gone. Will Smith, a booming home run for the Dodgers. He leads off the 8th, and it's 7-2 L.A.
That's greeting a reliever, Will Smith style.
Zach Littell just entering the game. And Will Smith pops his first home run of this postseason.
Just a breaking ball, middle of the plate. And Smith was ready for it. And like you said, just launched into the stratosphere was this home run. Looked like it was never going to come down.
Well, it had that sound. You knew it was barreled. Left about at 105. High launch angle, and that's the towering fly ball home run. 7-2 Los Angeles. As Will Smith been on twice, scored twice. And Taylor takes a strike from Littell. That was Smith's first home run since September 19th. Had been in a bit of a home run drought. He was a big home run hitter this year. Led all catchers in homers in the National League. Had 25 home runs this season. So, Ronnie, we start looking ahead a little bit to Game 3. This game's certainly not over yet, but it's 7-2 Los Angeles. Dave Roberts talked to us about flipping the script quickly in a 5-game series, and made the point for the Dodgers to come back, win tonight, and then you have Max Scherzer ready for a Game 3. I mean, that's about the best option you could possibly have at Dodger Stadium,
where they won 58 games this year. 59 if you're counting the wild card.
And where he has not lost, where the Dodgers have not lost when he's been on the mound since being traded from Washington. Taylor on the ground. Is going to be a tough play. Long throw, Crawford, and safe at first is Taylor. Too much real estate for Crawford. Taylor runs well, beats it out for an infield single.
So again, another big game for Chris Taylor. A couple of hits, run scored, a walk. He got on his heels here, so once he was there was no way for him to step in to the throw. And once he had that much air under it, no chance to get Taylor at first.
Back-to-back hits, a home run and an infield single. I don't think Dave Roberts was concerned or thinking so much about potential criticism riding Taylor, riding Bellinger, because they have done so well in the postseason in the past. But neither player has played well here down the stretch. Well, he rides with them. He said, I got to ride with the guys that have been there. And experience matters in a setup like this. On the road, hostile environment at Oracle Park. And they have both delivered in a big way. Bellinger's 2 RBI double stretched it out in the 6th inning. That made it 4-1 at the time. And those were the 2 that were involved, Bellinger and Taylor, in the wild card game as well in that 9th inning. Let's check in with Lauren Shahadi.
Well, we think of the Dodgers as being able to buy talent. They also develop well and trade for it. Guys, 5 years ago, they traded Zach Lee for Chris Taylor. At the time, Lee was a first-rounder, a phenom, a multi-sport athlete. Taylor was an unheralded utility infielder. Now, his teammates call him the MVP.
All kind of moves like that. It's one thing to have resources to sign free agents or sign your own players to long-term extensions. And the Dodgers have that. They have plenty of resources. But they also have a brilliant minor league system that they can trade from as Bellinger strikes out. So that's the Dodgers side of thing. As you start to look at Game 3 on Monday for the Giants, they have not yet announced who their Game 3 starter will be.
Well, what's interesting is that they haven't announced. They probably will announce Gabe Kapler after the game. But the Dodgers are in a kind of a quandary, too, because they're not sure who they're going to pitch in Game 4. So it's back and forth right now. Alex Wood is a candidate. DeSclafani is a candidate.
It's going to be one of those 2 pitchers. In what order, you'll get to find out after the game when we do, and Gabe Kapler reveals it. But that'll tell a lot about where he thinks, or what pitcher he believes could be better suited at Dodger Stadium. Alex Wood pitched for the Dodgers. He certainly knows that mound. He knows that environment. And we'll just have to wait and see on who it's going to be. DeSclafani has had a terrific year. Andrew Bailey, the pitching coach, with Gabe Kapler. They know what they're doing. They're just not ready to release it. And I would bet that each pitcher knows what game he'll pitch.
Except I think what happened coming into this game, if you got into a situation where we have extra innings or the old rules and you had a long game, Wood or DeSclafani could have figured in this game at some point if a closer score.
1 away, no balls and a strike on A.J. Pollock. And he lines one to right field, a base hit. Wade on a hop, will get it back to the infield. A.J. Pollock coming alive here. Been on base 3 times. His 2nd hit of the game after his 2 RBI double in the 6th inning. And his 1st and 2nd for LA with 1 away.
Well, maybe that's the greatest news for the Dodgers, to see Bellinger come up with a big hit and Pollock now 2 hits and a walk.
Well, the double with the 2 RBIs was significant enough on its own.
Yep.
But the fact that he hustled his way to second, sprinted to second base, showing that hamstring is in good form. That may be a bigger sign. Matt Beatty, who got the start at first base in the last 2 games for Max Muncy. He'll pinch hit here. And Littell misses high. Beatty, an excellent pinch hitter for Los Angeles. Pressed into starting duties until tonight. 0 for 6 in his first 2 games. Had a chance to visit earlier tonight. Lauren interviewed both Max Muncy and Brandon Belt between innings of our game tonight, and neither ready to commit on a comeback. Both are hopeful to come back. It appears that Brandon Belt is closer to returning than Muncy. Dislocated elbow for Muncy. Broken thumb for Belt a week earlier. 2 on, 1 out. Beatty on the ground. That's through for a base hit. Taylor around third. He'll score another Dodger run, and it's a pinch hit RBI single for Matt Beatty. 8-2 Los Angeles.
just against the shift here for Beatty. Fastball in the outer part. He just went that way, found the hole. Taylor's good speed. Another run scored.
Back in a familiar role as the pinch hitter, and he delivers. That says it all.
Yes, it does.
Dodgers stretching it out here. This was a 2-1 game going into the 6th inning. Mookie Betts takes a strike.
Pollock with a couple hits, on base 3 times. Bellinger with a big RBI double. Chris Taylor with 2 hits, a walk, and 3 runs scored.
2 on, 1 out. Betts has an RBI single in this game. That was in the 2nd. And he smashes one to center field. Just gets under it. Bryant will make the catch. Both runners tag. And both will stop. Bryant with a great arm. And there is out number 2. Wild card in NLDS game 1. Just 2 hits. 2 for 25 in those 6 through 9 positions in the batting order. A lot of those obviously were pitchers at bats. But tonight, bottom of the order, including the pitcher Urias, coming up big. 7 hits and 13 at bats. And a lot of traffic going on down at the bottom of the order. Those big RBI base hits by Bellinger and Pollock. So Littell is out. Garcia is coming in. Pitching change for Gabe Kapler as the Dodgers have stretched their lead to 6. 8-2 LA. 2 outs in the 8th and a pitching change at Oracle. Presented by T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage, taking you down on the field. Oracle Park in San Francisco, and the series will be moving to Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Tonight, 42,000 plus here at Oracle. There'll be 50,000 plus in Los Angeles. Jarlin Garcia on the mound for San Francisco here.
Coming off his finest season. Did Garcia. This is his first postseason game. Left-handers this year were 18 for 104 against him, a batting average of 173.
Seager will bat for the Dodgers. We're 2 away. Got 2 on. 2 runs are in. And it's 8-2 LA. And Seager on the first pitch. He's going to dump one into center field. That's going to bring in another run. A.J. Pollock will score. Beatty on his way to third. And Seager gets into the act. His first hit of the game. It is 9-2 Los Angeles. Seager with his first RBI of the postseason.
Jumping all over that first pitch. Little breaking ball by Garcia. He went down and got it. Even though it's off the end of the bat, he's so strong, gets it out into right field. Pollock scores, Beatty first to third.
3 runs are in the 8th.
Dodgers 0 for 5 last night with runners in scoring position. Tonight 6 for 14.
Trey Turner now. 8th batter of the inning. Dodgers brought 8 to the plate in the 6th. That 4-run inning. Jarlin Garcia deals and misses away.
It's always danger, right? Bringing the left-hander to get that third out versus the left-hander. And if he doesn't get him out, now you have Garcia has to face the 2 turners.
Flipping the matchup advantage. Now in the regular season, this would be a game you'd start preparing for tomorrow if you're on the wrong end of this. Well, both managers would. And there is some of that in a 7-run game. I'll be interested to see where Dave Roberts goes next with his bullpen. He's had Trinan warming up. Trinan appeared in the wild card game, so he's got his feet wet in this postseason already.
Well, these 2 organizations have spent a lifetime making each other miserable. You don't think that's not going to happen in this 5-game series? Someone's heart's going to be broken.
Well, I love what you said yesterday when we hit the air. There's a lot of animosity, of course, going through the decades, through the centuries. But there was some anxiety with both of these teams entering this series. And just the idea that you could win that many regular season games, 107 for San Francisco, 106 for the Dodgers. And it's coming down to a best 3 of 5 series against your rival. And you could be going home. This is not a nationally championship series. First time they've ever met. Dave Roberts endured his first loss in a game 1 of a NLDS. Had been 5-0 until last night. Has not been a nationally team to win more than 107 games like the Giants did this year. Since a team you're very familiar with, Ronnie, the 86 Mets. 108 and 54 that year.
When you play on teams like that and like these guys this year, you really do feel every day you're going to win when you come to the ballpark.
And that carries over into the postseason, of course, as Turner is rung up. Well, the Dodgers bring 8 to the plate. Once again, they score 3 times. And Will Smith launches his first home run of the 2021 postseason. 9-2 Dodgers. Giants coming up, bottom of the 8th. Reminder that the stars of Super Troopers are back. Don't miss all new episodes of the True TV original series Tacoma FD, Thursdays at 10/9 Central on True TV. Mike Yastrzemski will pinch hit for San Francisco. Brusdar Graterol is on the mound. Trinan was warming up. He sits. Graterol in a 9-2 game will enter in the Giants' 8th.
100-mile-an-hour sinker facing Mike Yastrzemski.
And he pops it up. Justin Turner is over in foul territory. Makes the play for the out. Right near Giants third base coach Ron Wotus, who has announced he will retire at the end of the season. Well, been one of the great ones. A lot of managers, including Bruce Bochy, and their great run here with the 3 World Series, and now with Gabe Kapler, and finishing his career in 2021. And what a year to go out on. Lauren Shahadi's got more on that story with Ron Wotus. What do you have, Lauren?
Yeah, not only was he under Bruce Bochy, he was hired as the team's third base coach when Dusty Baker was the manager. Barry Bonds was their left fielder, and the team played at Candlestick.
Wow. He was a minor league manager in the Giants system. I remember when I was calling games in the minor leagues, he was in Shreveport managing in the Giants system. That was a long time ago, Ronnie.
Well, I was just thinking that the Giants will have 13 coaches, many of them in their 30s. Ron probably just ran out of things to talk about with the other coaches.
Ran out of stuff in common, right? Third base coach. He was named under Dusty Baker in '98, and then the bench coach for a long stretch. 18 years he was the bench coach. And then back to the third base coaching box since 2018. Did it the old school way. Managing the minor leagues, longtime coach.
There's no bigger compliment you can get than a good baseball man.
Yep, that's it. That's it. It's an incredible coaching staff with the Giants. A bit of a trend-setting coaching staff, too. And 13 coaches on this Giant staff. Wotus, he was on the staff back when that foghorn was a Candlestick. He's seen all of this unfold. But this Giants coaching staff, they have 13 coaches.
Yeah.
They have 2 bullpen catchers. Gabe Kapler wanted a big staff. He said it's the equivalent of a classroom with more teachers. And there's been a lot of buy-in with the players. First full-time female coach as well. Alyssa Nakin is on this staff in her early 30s. Trailblazing move by the Giants. And Alyssa Nakin, and you know, I think a lot of us were wondering how this was going to work because most of their staff does not have major league experience.
Right.
There's Alyssa working the pitching machine pregame. She puts in a lot of time and effort. All these coaches do. They're here for a long time.
Pitching machines are pretty scientific now. Able to replicate what that starting pitcher that night, his repertoire really. Spin rate, how hard they throw.
It's been a fascinating study to see how these huge names, these faces of franchise type players, including guys like Bryant, who they acquired from the Cubs via trade, but they've adapted really well to this setup, this system. And what you hear from most in the Giants organization is the workouts, the teaching. It is efficient, it's quick, they're in, they're out. And with so many coaches, you can afford to do that. More coaches than any team in the majors.
Well, I think also with so much information, Brian, it helps that there's plenty of people to try to disperse that amongst the team.
Farhan Zaidi, the president of baseball operations with the Giants. He spent time under Andrew Friedman in Los Angeles. There's a called strike 3, and Bryant is rung up. Gratterall rings the bell on Chris Bryant on a 3-2 pitch.
It was 0-2 and worked it all the way to 3-2 and then dented that outside corner with a 100-mile-an-hour two-seamer.
2 up, 2 down for Gratterall. Of course, Andrew Friedman had all those great years with the Rays and really helped make them a viable contending franchise as well. He's carried it over to LA. So all the front offices are good and locked in and great systems in place. These two teams going to be quite a series. 9-2 Dodgers as we go to the ninth. Series on TBS. It's presented by Good Sam. Mike Yastrzemski stays in the game to play left field, or play center field, I beg your pardon. Bryant moves over to left field. And Kervin Castro, the 22-year-old rookie from Venezuela, on the mound here for the first time for the Giants in the postseason. Facing Justin Turner, it is 9-2 Los Angeles.
Youngest player on the Giants roster at 22 years old. Justin Turner hasn't gotten it going in this division series yet.
Had that home run in the wild card game. Was 0 for 4 last night, is 0 for 4 tonight. First at bat, he hit a line shot to left to rough for an out. Dodgers haven't needed him tonight, though. 9 runs on 11 hits. And stretching that lead, those add-on runs, 4 in the 6th, 3 more in the 8th. Grounder over to third, and Longoria makes a play for out number 1. Looks like Phil Bickford will get the 9th inning for LA, with Posey, Flores, and Crawford scheduled to hit.
Kervin Castro was down in AAA for most of the year. He only appeared in 10 games in September for the Giants, but those 10 games were so impressive he didn't allow a run that he made the division roster.
Giants carry 8 relief pitchers like the Dodgers. And it felt like it came right down to Castro or Johnny Cueto. And then there are different reasons why you would keep a starting pitcher. Cueto's been in the rotation with the Giants. And it was Castro who won out in a short series in a 5-gamer. Now that might change if the Giants advance. Remember, the extra inning rule that we had all year does not apply to the postseason. You don't put a runner at second. Smith, a fly ball into center field. Yastrzemski makes the play for out number 2.
Castro really hides the baseball. He's got a good curveball.
We saw a simulated game on the field today with the Giants, and it's pretty customary practice for teams to keep pitchers ready. So it's a 12-man postseason pitching staff here, but pitchers 13, 14, 15. Saw Sammy Long today, Jay Jackson, all trying to stay loose, stay ready. Dodgers will do the same. They have a taxi squad that they will call on, and things can change quickly with injuries and the team that advances and goes into a 7-game series. You never know.
Yeah, injuries are the first key to have guys around and keep them fresh. But more importantly, if you do go through, how you match up against one team might not be the same as you match up against the next.
It'll either be the Braves or the Brewers advancing on the other side of the National League bracket. That series all even at 1 apiece. I'd like to remind everyone, last year, you remember, even on the position player side, Brett Phillips was not on the DS or CS roster, and then he had a huge moment in the World Series against the Dodgers. So he's got to stay ready as a player. Sometimes the stars, the heroes come from the unlikeliest of players. Happens all the time in this great game.
It's almost like we know so much more than we used to know, but you still never know what's going to happen and who's going to make it happen.
Yeah, it's true. Taylor takes a ball. Boy, he's had a good night tonight. Taylor scored 3 runs. He's got 2 hits. Had a double and a run scored in the second. Was robbed of a base hit by Longoria in the 4th. Then he walked and scored part of the 4-run 6th. And reached on an infield hit his last time up, and a little soft liner out to Crawford. 3 up, 3 down inning. Last call for the Giants. They trail by 7. Dodgers 9, San Francisco 2 as we go to the home ninth. Game 2, National League Division Series. And it all went south for the San Francisco Giants. After the Dodgers put a 4 spot on the board in the 6th, added 3 more in the 8th. Will Smith clubbed his first home run of the postseason this year. And of course our T-Mobile base camp taking you right down in on the action. Phil Bickford on the mound facing Buster Posey. Faced him last night, got him to ground out, only batter he faced. And here he is for the 9th. A former Giant farmhand, traded to Milwaukee and then sent to the Dodgers.
Found a home in that Dodger bullpen.
Sure has. There's a lot of great talent down there to learn from if you're Phil Bickford, and he's done it. Posey dumps one into right field, another hit. That's his 3rd hit of the game. His 4th hit of this series already. He's got a homer, a double, and now back-to-back singles in his last 2 at-bats.
It's kind of a little laugh by Buster as he's watching on the board the replay of this fastball that gets in and up on Posey, but he's still able and strong enough to dump it into right field.
Flores, first ball swinging, fly ball to center field for Taylor. And there's out number 1 here in the 9th inning. If you're looking for an edge, if you're wondering what the matchup could be, we'll find out soon enough here with Gabe Kapler who the Game 3 starter is going to be for the Giants on Monday. Dodgers about the same. I mean, they were 21 games over 500 against right-handed starters. I beg your pardon, 31 games over 500 and 19 games over 500 against lefties. You don't see near as many left-handed starters, of course. So you got a right-hander at Anthony DeSclafani and a left-hander at Alex Wood. That'll both be part of the division series rotation. In which order, we don't know yet.
Just had a shot at DeSclafani and Wood on the bench for the Giants, and almost seemed like did anyone tell you? Is it you? Is it me? But maybe this is why they're having a difficult time deciding. This year in 6 starts, DeSclafani's 0-3 with a 7.5 ERA against the Dodgers, and Wood didn't have a win in 3 starts, ERA approaching 5.
Crawford on the ground. Bellinger snags it, throws to second out there, throw to first, bounces off the facing of the Dodger dugout. It'll be the second out, and the Giants down to their last out. I feel like this could be an excellent DraftKings moment here. Who gets Game 3 for the Giants run?
That's right. There you go.
Will it be the former Dodger Alex Wood? Here they are. And that scissor delivery. Dodgers know who they'll have on the mound in Game 3. That'll be Max Scherzer. And he has had some great moments in postseasons past, both as a starter mostly and occasionally out of the bullpen. He was part of that World Series championship team, he and Trey Turner, with the Nationals 2 years ago. Even at 37 years of age, Max Scherzer is appointment viewing, especially in the playoffs. He is the one pitcher you cannot take your eyes off in the big games. He's had such a great career. And he wants to keep on going. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year, and why not? He's going to be a Cy Young candidate this season. Got a great chance to win his 4th Cy Young award. Still a power pitcher in his late 30s. He was upset about his performance in the wild card game, but he only gave up 1 run in the first inning. That came on a wild pitch, but he wasn't his dominant self. Went 4 1/3 in that one.
I think the historic season that the Dodgers had at home, 58 wins this year. Giants were right behind with 54 wins of their own. White Sox had 53, but 58 wins is something. Yeah, that doesn't even include the wild card win.
Yeah, and both teams won 50 games in the second half alone post All-Star break. In the final spread, Crawford takes off, and that one is down and away. Defensive indifference there to get him to second base. Not holding him on. Comes at you fast in a 5-game series. And the momentum can flip quickly. That old adage, momentum is only as good as your next day's starter. That certainly applies, but the Dodgers coming in here and now flipping the home field advantage in their favor. And there is the possibility that the Giants don't get back to Oracle Park. Fly ball to right. Longoria sends one out to Betts, and that'll do it. The Dodgers answer after being shut out last night 4-0. They respond with 9 runs on 11 hits. Bellinger and Pollock with key hits, part of a 4-run 6. Good comeback by Los Angeles.
Yeah, comeback. Their offense looked like the old Dodgers offense, not swinging any balls off the plate. They punished the Giants tonight.
So the Dodgers even this series at 1 apiece, and now we head to L.A. A travel day tomorrow. We're back at it on Monday night from Dodger Stadium. Up next, the postseason show on TBS, presented by the all-new Hyundai. For Ron Darling, Lauren Shahadi, and the rest of our crew, I'm Brian Anderson saying goodbye from Oracle Park in San Francisco. You've been watching MLB on TBS, your home for the 2021 National League Championship. Now to Ernie Johnson and the King in Atlanta.
The MLB postseason on TBS is brought to you by Taco Bell.